I'm very happy to speak with Arianna De Leo, who leads UNICEF's global engagement with philanthropic families. Hello, Arianna. It's great to have you with us.
Hello. Thank you for having me here.
Arianna, are you seeing increased interest in philanthropic giving among wealthy families globally, and how is that evolving?
Yes, we see it. I think the interesting aspect of it is that we see an increased willingness to engage as a family with UNICEF or in general with the impact space across different continents, across different countries. So it's not specific to a certain geographic area, but it's really a global phenomenon that is developing.
Mm-hmm. And what are the key drivers shaping philanthropic decision-making today? Are they primarily values-based or impact-focused?
When going on a journey, on a philanthropic journey, it becomes much more long-term and strategic also for the families if it's aligned to their core family values. So the more the legacy you would like to leave, the more the impact you would like to achieve is aligned with your family core values, the more long-term and strategic it is, both for the organization you're partnering with and for the family themselves.
And how do you engage wealthy families to actively promote children's rights, perhaps beyond financial contributions, particularly in terms of advocacy and long-term commitment?
This depends very much on the family and the family members on how they would like to commit beyond the financial commitment. Some want to give their voice, so they work with us on advocacy. Some others want to share and give their expertise to UNICEF, so we can leverage their expertise in a particular field. Some give their time more generally, and so whatever we need and they can commit to, we leverage also their time availability. Some others maybe share the network, which also for us is very important. And so we can really then have a more collective and collaborative environment, and some of these families really help us in building out the network for a common cause.
Mm-hmm. And how do you work with families to define philanthropic goals, particularly when multiple generations are involved and priorities may differ?
Sure, they bring in different perspectives, and sometimes there is an overlap, sometimes not. There we see that it is important really to start with the values. Every one of us has certain values, certain core values, and we help families really refine their family core values and to agree upon. So we try to help families really communicate intergenerationally and agree on these core values. And once we have that, we support families and accompany families in defining what is the purpose of their philanthropic engagement, why they want to engage philanthropically, and what is the mission they would like to achieve as a family.
Which areas or themes are currently of greatest interest to philanthropic families when it comes to supporting children's rights today?
Also this is very, it can change very much and differ from family to family. Education for sure is one of the main topics of interest. So really ensuring access to quality education to children. This is, yes, I would say one of the priority topics, but it's also sometimes nutrition or given the current environment also life-saving and humanitarian aid, so that every child, even in this more difficult contexts, can really survive and thrive. difficult to say if
are
there
there
is.
any regions in the world that really need more support, would you say?
There are different kinds of support, for sure. When there are disasters or conflicts that affect a country, there is a need for really bring the first assistance, but also kind of normality into the life again, especially for children, so that they can cope with the stress, with the big stress they're exposed to, but also for the families to cope with this situation and manage to the extent possible the well-being of their own children. And then, yes, every country has its specificity. In some countries we focus more on education, in others we focus more, for example, on setting up an effective and efficient social protection program, always together with the authorities that are present in a country so that it becomes sustainable. We work very much on system strengthening so that the benefits of the investments are sustainable and over time they continue to be there.
And today, especially amongst the younger generations, there is an increasing focus on impact, on measuring impact. So to what extent is the next generation influencing how families approach giving, and how are you adapting your engagement strategies in response?
This is something we also observe, what comes out from research and reports, so that the younger generations have a bigger or have more attention on purpose. Not that the other generations didn't have or don't have, but
instead of just giving money, they just want to measure the impact, I guess.
They want to measure, they want to be involved, they want to understand. But what we see is that they are influencing the other family members. So if the younger generation, they want really to understand how the mechanism of humanitarian aid works, etc., then also the parents or the grandparents are more and more involved and want to understand. So the younger generations influence the other generations in the family, even on how you are practicing your philanthropy.
Are you seeing a shift from philanthropy towards impact investing, or do you think they are increasingly complementing each other?
Among the younger generations, yes, there is an attention to impact investing, but what we also observe, and we have among our young philanthropists or next generation philanthropists, they would like really to see coherence along the whole spectrum. So from philanthropy to impact investing, but also to
the way they run their business, perhaps?
The way they run the business, so that there is an alignment and that there is coherence within the whole family ecosystem or enterprise or investments. So this is what we observe. It's not necessarily that there is a major focus on impact investing and therefore a smaller interest in philanthropy. It's how to align all these types of engagement.
Thank you, Arianna.
Welcome. Thanks to you.